Our next speaker is Robin Peel. Robin lives in Seattle, and he is the lead dog for the Narrow Gauge Convention coming up in Tacoma. In the past, we've given Robin a first 5 minutes of these presentations since we've been doing them in September to give us an update on what's going on. Today, we've donated the entire clinic session to Robin to tell us about the convention. Robin, over to you.
Thanks, Pete. And you'd be very delighted here. It's not just me today. So we're going to spend time and go through a complete tour of the convention. I've asked some of the group of guys who are helping put this together to actually come in one by one and talk about some of the different areas of it. So today, I think unless, particularly for you guys, right, unless you've been living under something resembling a rock, I think you know that we're doing the 42nd National Narrow Gauge Convention in beautiful downtown Tacoma over the Labor Day weekend, as our last speaker mentioned. So starting Thursday through Sunday, I keep saying this, but a day later than normal to take advantage of the Monday Labor Day holiday. Our venue will be the Hotel MURANO. It's a really lovely hotel. It's kind of the same quality as a W, something like that, in downtown Tacoma. It's a lovely place, and the convention events will all be taking place within the same hotel. They actually have an attached convention center. And you can go to our website, seattlenngc.com, to actually register. So if you don't know the Hotel MURANO, the room rates there are $139, which is extremely good for these parts. It does have some available nights. Some nights have sold out, but we've had a couple of cancellations come in, so some nights have probably been freeing up. The Marriott Tacoma downtown is literally a block away. That has some availability that is limited. And there's a Comfort Inn, I think at Freight House Square, in which you can get to, I think, on the Tacoma Light Rail. That has a pretty good rate as well. So if you have questions about locations, let us know, and we'll try and give you some help about accommodation if the main hotels are full. But like I say, please keep trying. So what we want to do today with these things here, so I'll briefly give you some general updates in just a second. Then Dale Crusoe will give you a bit of an in-depth tour of the layout tours we have, so we're really very proud of those. Dave Woodrell will do the same for the contest, explain how the contest is going to work. Then Russ and I will talk about the clinics we have scheduled, which are all on our website. Then Alan Murray will talk about the modular layouts, which we'll have on display. We have some great ones for that. And if we have time at the end, I can ask questions in the usual way. If you do have questions, you can put them in the chat, and then we can all see them, and we can ask them at the end. Or we may have time for a proper Q&A at the end of this. So first of all, from me, yeah, we do have an overflow hotel available, which is a Marriott Tacoma downtown. It's literally just a block away from our venue. It's very, very close. Other options, which we're actually leveraging for another local convention next year, is the Comfort Inn, I think in Freight House Square. That has a pretty good rate. The Marriott and the Hotel MURANO have a really good rate for where we are. A lot of you have already ordered shirts. We have them available on our website. I'm modeling the orange version, which our committee will be wearing. They're just a polo shirt, right? But it'll have the same logo on it. The ones that are actually available for attendees will be in a forest green, not the lurid safety orange, which I'm wearing right now. On Sunday, thanks to a lot of work by John Pascal in our group, we actually put a list of local attractions and extra fare tours onto our website. There's quite a few there. The two tours we have on the Wednesday, the August 31st, up to the Museum of Flight at Boeing Field, just south of downtown Seattle. It's one of the best aviation museums in the country, if not the world, and has a stunning array of stuff there. We have all the details on our website under tours and attractions there. We'll have a bus trip up there. It's only about 30 minutes away, and bring you back. And the Museum of Glass, which has a lot of work by Chihuly, both stuff indoors and outdoors. It's only a short walk from the venue, but you can also jump on the free downtown Tacoma light rail system to get there. So I have a guided trip up to there, a tour through the museum, and then lunch is all included in the price of that particular guided tour. And that'll be on Thursday, the day the convention begins. So if you or your spouse wants to do something before we start in the evening, that'd be a great thing to do. And our website, and I'll just show this to you, wrong way. I'll show you our website for a second. I just put this onto our website here under tours and attractions. So you can see the extra fare tour here to the Museum of Flight. I'll scroll down a bit. The walking tour to the Museum of Glass with lunch. If you scroll down even further, we do have a list of a lot of the local attractions, some of which are within walking distance of the hotel, like the Washington State History Museum here is very, very close, and it's on our layout tour. It has an absolutely enormous and beautiful HO layout on the top floor there, so that's very close and well worth going to see. There are quite a few other locations around here. The LeMay Car Museum, you can actually see it from Interstate 5 driving through Tacoma. It's a lovely place. I think you can get there on the light rail. It's not very far. You could walk, but I think the light rail gets you actually pretty close on there. I did put a link up here to local attraction in the Tacoma area. That's by the local tourist board there. That has a more complete list and maps and so on that you can actually see what's going on in Tacoma. So these are available. You can make reservations for these. We've already had a few of the weekends, so that's something new that's on our website this weekend. The clinic schedule is also on the website. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And I think I mentioned before, we're getting Lynn Murdinger from the Eastboro Top will be our guest speaker for the closing night on the Sunday evening. It would be remiss of me not to mention our COVID-19 policies. We do update those as things change on our website. We actually put it on the frequently asked questions. And we do have one of our members is a first responder. He's just spent a lot of time working in emergency management. So we do have on our website our COVID-19 strategy and so on here. It does evolve, things are changing. The one thing which Dale will also mention in a minute, but I will mention now, please come prepared with masks and your vaccination cards with you, because some of our layout owners may require those, and that's their personal choice, and please respect that. And if you want to come wear a mask the whole time, I probably will. Please respect the choice of people who wish to do that. So this will evolve as we go on, but we're following all of our local state of Washington and federal and CDC advice on COVID-19 strategies. So that's it for me on just an overview of where we are right now. Please look at the website, register if you haven't registered. We really want to understand how many people are going to be here so we can plan appropriately. But the next up is Dale. So Dale, are you here and unmuted? If you want to talk about the layout tours, and I'll bring up the website and show you some if you like as you're speaking, Dale.
Okay, yes, I am here. Great to see everybody. Myself and Roger Knowlton, who's been giving me a great hand putting the stuff together. We've been working for some time to put a slate of 36 layouts that will display the wonderful model railroad talent that we have here in the Northwest. So I think when the photos that you will see Robin scrolling through, that there's something for everybody in this lineup, whether it's logging, mining, agriculture, industrial settings, narrow gauge, standard gauge cities, or out in the country, and in different eras. 18 of the 36 layouts that we have are devoted to or include narrow gauge. So the scales range from N to 1 to 20.3 and everything in between. Later, after the Zoom meeting, take some time to look through the layouts featured on the website. No matter what the scale, you will find terrific modeling. I mean, we've got some just outstanding end scale in this area. The layout hosts have been working hard to get as much done as possible by the convention. You will get to see layouts that are in the early stages to being nearly completed or complete. The printed tour guide has all the information you need to make an informed decision on what layouts to visit that match your interests. The layout tours spread out over 4 days, beginning in the afternoon of Thursday, September 1st, going through Sunday. Now, there are several open on Monday the 5th as well. The layout tours will begin at noon and last until 4 p.m. We move the tours up an hour to hopefully beat the afternoon traffic. It's a hope. As with every metropolitan area, of course, it's something we must deal with. The only variation from the noon to 4 p.m. is on Monday, where there's 4 layouts are open beginning at 10 a.m. to accommodate the get out of town early crowd. The layouts are not truly organized by region, although we have tried to have layouts open near each other. We do have the tour guide organized so that attendees can easily see the location of open layouts on a specific day. And Robin covered the COVID policy. Robin, if you wanted, I could show them a little bit how the tour guide is laid out. Basically, we'll have a table of contents, and then you'll have you know, there'll be a page for each day of the convention, and it'll have a regional map, and we put in what we call map location numbers, so you can match up and see where every layout is and who's close by. And then in the layout body itself, there's going to be a page for each layout, which has a lot of the detail. Obviously, the address and the days it's open, and the scale, contact information, and then also details about the layout itself, you know, how much bench work and track work and scenery is done. Is it operational? Does the owner conduct operations? In that way, you can take a look and you can see, is this something I want to take a look at? Yeah, I think that's about it. Hopefully you can, you know, the pictures are worth 1,000 words. And, you know, there's some great stuff. There's John Morrison's Outdoor Garden Railway, which is just a terrific layout. So that's what I have.
Thank you, Dale. And I think when I look at the list of layouts, we do have a lot of good narrow gauge modeling up here in the Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of SM3 modelers up here, myself included. So we're lucky at that. Interestingly, we have quite a few good standard gauge S-scale models, which is a little unusual, and that's actually pretty cool. And even SN42 from our friend Max McGuinness here, based in New Zealand. There is some really interesting quirks and twists on what we actually have up here. So please come to the website. As you saw me doing, you can click on any of these photographs. We still have 2 more to put on here, by the way, for which we have not received images yet. So there are 34 listed here, but there will be 2 more. Click on any of these photographs, like here's Roger's, and you'll get a description of the layout. And you know, Roger's assembled some lovely photographs and edited them on here to see for all of the layouts. So please dig around and explore. And yeah, thank you, Roger and Dale, for putting that together. Anything else, Dale?
Oh, no, that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you. Moving on, the clinics, I want to mention very quickly. I worked with Russ a little bit at the weekend. We've actually got a pretty final list for now of the clinics on the website. Here's a sample of what's on the website. We have a list showing them by session. You know, I color-coded the evening ones darker, the morning ones yellow, you know, so you can tell what's going on. Here's a quick summary of them. I'll be adding some more detail, you know, an abstract of what they cover when I can get that information. That will be added here too. And this will be live. So this will be live during a convention. So if rooms change, clinics get changed, this will be the first place to look. If you haven't been there yet, you can come to our website. Let me go back to the homepage. You can come to our website under convention, go to clinic schedule up here. Just click here, and that very same list is listed below here. I actually maintain it in a spreadsheet on Google, and when I change anything, it pops up here within 2 or 3 minutes. So we're going to try and make this a live thing so changes can be communicated, and you can look at this on your smartphone or your laptop in your hotel room in the evening and see the very latest situation, like somebody cancelled or a room changed or whatever it might be. So Russ, are you still here? Did you want to say anything about the clinics?
I am incredibly pleased with the array of people who volunteered to present. And then once you start looking in detail at this list, and then the components of what these people are presenting, you will be very, very much impressed. It's a big, big array of prototype railroads, different types of product and manufacturing, different techniques for working with the wood or brass or styrene. It's just an incredible array of different ways of approaching the hobby.
Thank you, Russ. One thing to note, we have 60 clinic slots, I believe is correct for us, right?
Yes.
And we just have 2 still to be confirmed.
Several people are going to repeat the same clinic. Others will do 2 different clinics. In one session, they'll talk about one particular topic, and in another session, they'll do another topic. In one case, there are 2 presenters in one topic, with Jerry Cornwell, for instance. And then he's also doing another clinic with a totally different presenter on a different topic. So it's just about an incredible array. And you'll find anything you could ever want to know about how to do good work in model railroading.
Yeah. And I put this little checkbox here ticked if this is a repeat session, the second session. So some of them don't repeat, some do. So please check it carefully. You know, some people do a part 1 and a part 2, like our friend Glenn Farley is doing a part 1 on brass basics and then a part 2 on specifically rebuilding a T19 SM3 fleet. So please check it carefully. I think all the information you need is here. As I say, I will be adding descriptions or abstracts to here just as soon as I can. So that's, you know, how the clinics are shaping up. From the contest, Dave, are you with us?
As far as the contest is concerned, it's going to have a very familiar feel. It's basically the same organization we have of it every year. It's a peer voting contest, and that means that any registered attendee will have a ballot included in his or her registration packet. And you can vote on that, and there'll be a place to deposit your ballots throughout the entire convention. So you can take your time and make your choices and then put it in there. I would caution you, though, that guard the ballot with your life, because you only get one. There are no replacements. So because we don't want somebody trying to stuff the ballot box, not that anybody would. For those of you who are going to participate, when you log on to the website, you can download these forms, and the entry forms, the rules, and the description sheet will all automatically come in there, and you can print that up. I'd like to just do a few housekeeping things here on the entry forms themselves. Please have these, if you're going to enter, please have them completed before you show up for registration. That will speed up the process. We can get you checked in, we can fill out the appropriate things and send you in with a helper to go in and place your own model in the contest room in the appropriate category. And it's especially important for you to write very legibly or type, whichever you want, all the information on here, because as in the last convention and the symposiums we've had here, the company that's making the plaques don't work on weekends. So once we find out who is won in or placed in the different categories, we won't be able to have the names on the plaques when we present them. However, if we have all this information legible, then we will have the winners or the placers' names on a separate plaque that we will send to you, and you can apply it yourself. But if we can't tell where your home address is, or if we don't have a good phone number for you, it's going to be difficult to do that. So please pay attention to that. So those are the top two forms. You fill out the top, all that information, and also the claim form. We'll separate that, give that to you, and then when you come to pick up your model, or if you aren't able to and you designated someone else to, we'll need that form, and then you can recover your model after the contest is over. Scrolling down to, in addition to that form, there's the description sheet for both the model and the photo. And this is the opportunity for those of you who are entering to sell your model or photo. So it'd be nice if you tell us how you build it, and any techniques you might have used. These are things that people are always interested in when they're viewing them. Some prototype information about it is fine. However, this is the only page you have, and you don't want to make it a dissertation that people will probably be familiar with where it came from. But a little bit of description is certainly apropos, and it's up to you. You can put whatever you want on that form that you desire to do. So that's how we'll handle this. If you have all this filled out ahead of time, then it should just take a few minutes for you to go through that line. We're going to open up on the morning of the first day. We'll have a couple of tables out front, so there'll be two places that can be conducting the registration at the same time, and hopefully that'll speed things up. One caution, it's in the rules there, but no packaging is to be left in the contest room. We just don't have room for it, for one thing. So plan on taking whatever packaging you used for your entry back to your room and then you can bring it when you come to pick up your bottle. So that pretty much is the general information I have for you now. We have a configuration of the room that we think is going to work. And so it should be a lot of fun. We encourage as many people as possible to bring something that we can look at and hopefully give you the recognition that you need. So I guess that's it.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that, Dave, for doing this. Dave ran our contests in 2012 as well, and I think at the SN3 symposia we've had in the Seattle area. So I appreciate you doing this each time. Thank you. Last but and almost least, Alan, to talk about the modular layouts we have for you.
Thank you, Robin. We're pleased to have 4 modular layouts that we can fit into the convention site. Hangman Creek, Moose Creek Logging Company, the Mudhens from Arizona, and the Munson Sheepscot River Railroad. All right, Hangman Creek is an ON3 scale layout built in Spokane, Washington by 4 modelers, Jeff Dozier, Jim Smith, Stan Oxendahl, and Tom Jennings. And they took that to the National Narrow Gauge Convention in Bellevue in 2012. It was a favorite at that convention, and I think it took best of show, if I'm correct. This logging railroad is set in the 1950s in remote northeastern Washington state and northern Idaho. Nearly everything on the layout is scratch built, and you will be impressed with the creator's craftsmanship and detailed scenes. Watch the video as well to see the Hangman Creek Lumber Company Railroad at work. Now, I took this from their website, so I guess you can do that. Right now, the team is busy refurbishing the layout in California, and they'll be bringing it up to the show. Moose Creek Logging Company is an ON30 logging layout that has been a favorite at Pacific Northwest train shows, always in the running for People's Choice Award. This extremely well-modeled layout contains lots of topography and cleverly detailed scenes. They also displayed their layout at the 2019 Narrow Gauge Convention, and the Moose Creek layout is led by Al Jones, and the photos are courtesy of Ben Popper. So the Arizona Mudhens is part of a larger club with 4 divisions: Missouri, Illinois, Texas, and Arizona. As with Moose Creek, Arizona Mudhens, both of them will be on the main floor of the vendor room. So there'll be a lot of interaction time you can have there. Unique to this layout is the Palisades module shown on the left, where the railroad can be seen cut into the talus slopes or is supported by a very tall retaining structure along the sheer cliff face. The Triple Mine, Creedy Plus, Alpine Engine House, Animus, and Ouray are other features of this division led by Steve Hollenbeck. And finally, a brand new one, the Munson Sheepscot River Railroad. Dale Bearden and Carl Kuhlman have constructed an ON30 modular layout that is based loosely on the 2-foot gauge Munson and the Sheepscot, Wiscasset, Waterville, and Farmington railroads in Maine. Their research required them to go on site to do a lot of work. Because of that, they've been invited back to Munson, Maine in August to display their layout for some event that's related to the town. And then on their way home, they'll be stopping in Tacoma to have us take a look at what they've done. So that's what I've got, Robin.
Thanks, Alan. So those are 4, I think, really outstanding narrow gauge layouts. You know, Hangman Creek, first time I saw it was in 2012. I spent a lot of time looking at it from the registration desk. That was outstanding. It's good to see another set of Mudhens, so that would be nice. And this one I'm really looking forward to seeing. I have not seen one, but I love the kind of cold, wintry atmosphere it's got on there. Oh, well, fall atmosphere it's got on there. That's delightful. So thank you, Alan. In conclusion, our websites have been up and running for a while. The registration, we're at the full fair now, but it does include a free pass for your spouse. Vendor registration is still open. And I just want to clarify, I heard there was some confusion about what the vendor registration fee includes at the SN3 symposium. To be very clear, that vendor fee includes the vendor, one helper who's going to help you there, and your first table. So a vendor can come with a helper, and for that one fee, you're all set up. It's really not much more than paying for 2 registrations, and you get a free table. So I think it's a pretty good deal there. I had a few people grumbling in this era of high inflation, but the registration fee this year is $25 more than what we charged 10 years ago in Seattle. That's a 20% increase. Inflation since then there has been 27%. So our real cost is actually a little bit lower. And trust me, the hotels, it's really hard to do deals with them. And for the venues and the catering and everything else, prices are really high. So we're trying really hard to keep it within a very limited budget here. So we appreciate it. So please go to our website and register. We really look forward to seeing you here in Seattle, in Seattle, Tacoma over the Labor Day weekend, and check out those tours we just put up there. Thanks to everyone on my team who helped put this together today. We've got a great team, and yeah, look forward to meeting you all up there. Any questions on the chat?
Yes, we have quite a few. So I will launch into these right away. The first question is, my wife wants to know if there are any non-rail activities scheduled.
Yes, so what we have on the website here, which has just appeared on Sunday, so it's new, the tours and attractions. We have those here, but the 2 extra fare tours, those are non-rail. We've already had quite a few register for them with their spouses. Then the additional attractions down there in the Tacoma area, they're all close by, and you can walk to a lot of them.
Thanks. Fran is asking or commenting, there is a tugboat museum in Seattle not too far away, and there's a link to that in the chat box if you want to find that. Rod is asking, will the actual schedule be available before the convention starts?
We have a draft schedule on the website already.
Yeah,
I just changed it actually earlier today, bus tour to the Museum of Flight and so on. I actually have a couple of changes. That I'm going to add what Dale mentioned, that there will be some layout tours open on a Monday, for example. This is like an approximate schedule. Specifically, if you want the details of which layouts will be open each day, which actually a few people have asked me for already, we're actually finalizing with the layout owners what that will be. But we probably can give some approximate, let's say, Dale will be open on Wednesday and Thursday, Bill will be open Thursday and Friday. We can probably give you that information with an approximate location, so maybe you can plan your trip or plan to do some car sharing. By the way, it's a really good idea to carpool around here. We do have free HOV lanes, high occupancy vehicle lanes, which can really, really help. And a few of the layouts will require crossing the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, which is a toll bridge, so you can share the cost of that and so on.
Dave is asking how many have signed up. What are we, 2.5 months out? But yeah.
Yeah, it's always hard to get to a good answer to that, but I think we're in the low to mid 300s now, if you count those attendees who've registered, plus the vendors, plus the clinicians and the layout hosts. We're into the 300s now. We're hoping to get at least, I don't know, say 500. That will make sure that we don't actually lose our shirts on this. So we still have some ways to go. I do believe a lot of people are waiting to see how the COVID situation works out closer to the time. But we would really like you to register. We will refund your money up until August the 1st. So we really want to know how many people are coming so we can plan accordingly.
Thanks, Robin. Jim is asking, commenting, if you get tickets to the Air Museum the day before the convention starts, how will you get the tickets to be admitted to the bus? Do you have room rates?
So
do the room rates work for arriving on the 30th?
The room rates should have worked for arriving on the 30th. If they don't, I will speak to the hotel. But they did give me some block for the days before. They usually give a shoulder period there, so They should work. We're not going to give out physical tickets. We will be there. I will be around there on the Wednesday for those people going on the tour, and I will give you your badges for the convention. And the badge, my plan is the badge will indicate that you've paid up for these extra fare tours. So cool. Yes, okay. You'll be able to pick those up on the morning of that tour on the Wednesday, particularly for the Museum of Flight. And the same will apply for the Thursday too. Although if a registration desk is not technically open, we'll make sure before you leave that I am there, and we'll give out the badges to the people who've paid up for that.
Our friend Alan Pollock is asking, for the manufacturer packets, will there be a contest ballot and a program booklet for the registered helpers?
I think the answer to that question is yes. The registered helpers are technically at one level paying, so we will give them a ballot. We'd have to make sure that works out okay, but yes, we will do that. And yes, we will plan to give them a a layout guide and the actual timetable booklet as well. It's a good question. We need to remember to count the manufacturers the appropriate number of times to make sure we print sufficient, but it's a good point, and we'll make sure we do that.
Thank you. Chuck and Scott are asking commenting Alpine Tunnel is under construction. Steve Hollenbach is saying, I'll be done, which I'm assuming is meaning he'll be ready.
Well, yeah, so I did have some photographs of it not ready, so I guess that's what he means, right? So yeah.
That's good. Smith is asking, I am thinking about taking Amtrak from St. Louis to Tacoma. Is there anyone who can get in touch with me about this? I was specifically wondering how reliable the schedule might be. So if anyone can answer that question, perhaps.
Well, yes, you can take Amtrak from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Well, you probably have to go up to Chicago and get the Empire Builder to Seattle or Portland, and then from there, there are commuter trains down to Tacoma from Seattle King Street Station you could connect with, or even the Coast Starlight, which runs from Seattle, stops in Tacoma, and goes down to Portland and Los Angeles. So if you can get your way to Seattle or Portland, there are trains that will bring you up to Tacoma by train.
Great. Steve is asking a question. Alan said he has found the Mudhens a better space. Please contact me. So Alan, please give Steve Hollenbach a buzz and let him know about that information. And Randy, he says, I am COVID careful, but went to Hickory and found it safe and looking forward to this.
Cool. Yeah, and we're going to do the best to make it safe. So I appreciate the comment. We take it very, very seriously. And like I mentioned earlier, we can all make our own choices, but please respect the layout owner's choices because you're in their homes. So whatever they say goes.
Yeah. Their home, their rules. So I just want to extend our thanks to Robin, Dale, Russ, Dave, and Alan for their presentation. It looks like we've got a really exciting time scheduled for Labor Day weekend and hope to see everybody there.
Thank you for the opportunity and on behalf of the rest of our team. So thank you.